But first, can we do a bit of a deep dive into her relationship with Drew Barrymore, which has soured? Because it absolutely fascinates me. She appeared on her talk show just a few months ago, and Drew Barrymore was all over her.
Meghan Markle is back in the spotlight, but not the way she imagined this time. It happened right where she thought her big Hollywood return would begin, on the set of the Drew Barrymore Show. Meghan walked in expecting warmth, applause, maybe even a little glamour, but what she got was something else entirely. Insiders say the air was thick with tension. Meghan, still holding on to a sense of royal protocol, seemed out of place in Drew's easygoing, down-to-earth world. The clash wasn't loud. It was quiet, awkward, and impossible to ignore.
Actually sort of quite cringeworthy and revolting to watch, because it's like, Drew, you don't know the person who is sitting in front of you right now. You just have no idea about this woman. But what do you know about why that relationship changed and how things have since soured?
What was supposed to be Meghan's smooth return to the spotlight turned into a harsh dose of reality. By the time the cameras stopped rolling, one thing was obvious. Drew Barrymore had completely distanced herself from Meghan. No photo, no handshake. Not even polite small talk, and in a town like Hollywood, that kind of silence says more than any headline ever could. Insiders from the set revealed that before filming even began, Meghan's team had already sent over a list of demands, setting the tone for everything that followed.
She made about her new name, or how she wanted to be introduced, and not since going by that, which she made such a big deal about when she was on the show. And I also believe there were possibly some tensions with Drew's staff. You know, you have to imagine Meghan is now on, going on this show.
Meghan's team had sent in a list of demands before the show even began, including that she be introduced with her full royal titles and that no staff member approach her without clearance, a move that might work behind palace gates but felt completely off in the laid-back world of Hollywood talk shows. People behind the scenes were caught off guard. The Drew Barrymore Show is known for its warmth, its openness, its human touch, and yet the moment Meghan stepped backstage, that spirit seemed to vanish once the cameras started rolling. The tension didn't fade, it followed them on set. Meghan came across as distant, overly rehearsed, and above it all, a sharp contrast to Drew's natural, unfiltered vibe, the easy girl-to-girl connection producers had hoped for never showed up. Instead, the conversation felt stiff and uneasy. Drew stayed gracious, never missing a beat, but her body language quietly said it all. This wasn't going to be the start of any off-screen friendship. The entire appearance had been planned to spotlight Meghan's American Riviera orchard brand, and to remind audiences of her polished lifestyle image, but what played out was anything but relatable.
Style icon.
And her status. And Meghan just puts things at a level of importance that really just is not a big deal, especially to an American person like Drew Barrymore, okay? This is an American girl, okay? She is over here. Meghan is trying to perpetrate.
But the way Meghan carried herself during and after the show only made the gap wider between the image she tries to project and how the public actually sees her. Instead of earning support or curiosity, her carefully managed appearance sparked even more criticism about her Hollywood game, always calculated, rarely heartfelt. She came looking for a win, but ended up facing a quiet yet cutting rejection right there on camera. What stings even more isn't just what happened during the taping, but how the industry reacted afterward. Producers, publicists, and fellow celebrities were all paying attention, and none of them missed the shift in the room.
And she's an American. You know, it's like, I could see, someone like Catherine's staff would come in and say certain things. Okay, she's royalty, this is how you address her, blah, blah, blah. But girl, you are an American. You gonna come over to an American talk show and try to have yourself addressed.
And that's when the quiet whispers started, the kind that spread fast behind closed doors, confirming what many in the industry have long suspected. Meghan Markle's star isn't dimming because of bad luck, it's fading because of her own choices. In Hollywood, respect isn't handed out for titles or status, it's earned through grace, humility, and being real. Everything Drew Barrymore lives by and everything Meghan seemed to leave behind. The most telling moment didn't even happen during the interview. It came after the cameras stopped rolling, when Meghan lingered, hoping for a warm post-show connection that never came.
You're not close to royalty. You only marry somebody with a royal status. That's as close as your royalty is. So don't come over here perpetrating the fraud with the status and trying to be all high and mighty, because before you were royalty, you were over here trying to hustle your way onto shows like...
Drew reportedly offered nothing more than a polite goodbye before walking away. No hug, no friendly backstage moment, no hint of a future. Catch up, just a cool professional exit. It wasn't loud or messy, but it was crystal clear in an industry built on connections. That kind of quiet pullback speaks volumes. It signaled something Meghan never wanted to face her seat at. Hollywood's inner table might be slipping away, and what stood out most during the interview was one of Meghan's oldest habits making a return.
Well, Drew's wasn't around at the time, but still, you get my point. And so Drew, reads into that. She's been with the real high-level A-listers. She was around Diana. She met Diana when she was a little girl, and I'm sure Diana's people weren't tripping like that when Drew met her. Like, she had good things to say about Diana.
She tried hard to seem relatable, talking about motherhood, balancing home life, and tossing in lighthearted little stories meant to come off as charming and down-to-earth, but none of it felt real. It felt rehearsed, like a script written to win hearts. Instead of tell the truth, while Drew has earned her place by being open, raw, and emotionally honest, Meghan's version felt staged, carefully crafted for the cameras, not the conversation and viewers. Saw right through it. Many called it exactly what. It was just another performance.
Come over here being all high and mighty and making requirements about, her status, and no, I think it just rubbed her the wrong way. And people just don't like that. Especially when you've already met these kind of people, these high-level royalty. And
it didn't feel like a real conversation. It felt like a calculated move to fix a reputation that's been slipping fast. Meghan wasn't there to connect, she was there to control the narrative. But the moment the episode aired, social media lit up with reactions, and not the kind she was hoping for. Users flooded the platforms, mocking everything from her awkward timing to Drew's visibly uninterested expressions. Clips of the silences and stiff moments quickly became viral memes, and across Twitter, X, TikTok, and YouTube, the verdict was brutal. Meghan came off not just unrelatable, but completely out of touch.
Her true colors, who she really is, and deep down, who Meghan really and truly is really not a nice person. This is why she'll never find the success, because it's all contingent on relationships, more so in Hollywood than anywhere. It's about who you know. And now
fake and completely out of sync with how Hollywood really operates. That's how viewers described her one viral comment hit especially hard, saying, "She walked in like a duchess and left like an outcast." The backlash online was instant, harsh, and impossible to contain, louder than any polished PR spin could ever muffle back. When Megxit first unfolded, Hollywood rolled out the red carpet ready to embrace the royal rebels, but now those carpets are starting to roll back up. Meghan hasn't just distanced herself from the royals, she's been burning bridges across Tinseltown too.
The important A-listers, it's not going to get easy for her. It's going to get more difficult, I think.
Well, indeed. And P. Dinah, we also saw this week the reporting from the New York Post in terms of Meghan Markle's cash crisis, the fact that...
But it's not just the royals, she's alienated producers, showrunners, talk show hosts, even A-list stars who once saw her as fresh and exciting are now backing away. Her growing habit of expecting VIP treatment without bringing anything meaningful to the table has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The Drew Barrymore moment didn't stand alone, it simply confirmed what many had quietly started to believe. Meghan isn't the rising star anymore, she's become a risk, and it's not the first time either. Remember her much mocked appearance on Ellen back in 2021? What was meant to be fun and heartwarming ended up feeling cringeworthy and forced, another misstep in a pattern that's becoming too obvious to ignore.
What's such a problem for Meghan Markle is these cut staff members, and remember there's well over 100 now, because the numbers reported in the MSM, and I've always said this, and Angela Levin has always reported this too, are nowhere near where they're actually at, because the MSM tends to report
where she took part in awkward pranks and behaved in ways that many felt were wildly out of step for someone still holding on to a royal image. The backlash from the Drew Barrymore appearance just adds to a long and growing list of media misfires that have done more damage than good. By now, it's clear this isn't just an occasional misstep, it's a repeated pattern of poor choices and strategies that keep backfiring, and the harsh truth is this may be the moment where there's no turning back.
Staff members, but they're not talking about the cleaners or the nannies or the chefs. They don't know about them. So the numbers are actually much higher. So you've got over 100 staff members, right, who to a large degree, P. Diner, I'm not saying every single one of them.
Drew Barrymore has a reputation for being one of the kindest, most genuine personalities in daytime television. So if Meghan couldn't find common ground there, it begs the question, where can she's already severed ties with the royal family, pushed away key players in Hollywood, and drifted out of favor with the public. What remains is someone still holding tight to her titles, still chasing the spotlight but slipping further from relevance. Meghan didn't just leave Drew's set without a connection. She walked away with something far worse, a clear sign that the world may be moving on without her.
Unhappy about their treatment. Some of them formed the Sussex Survivors Club. It just gets bigger, and one of those members of the Sussex Survivors Club spoke out this week to Kinsey Schofield, who revealed what she knew to Rita Panahi on Sky News Australia Watch.
She walked away, exposed, the mask finally slipped, and the world caught a glimpse of what Hollywood insiders have whispered for a while. Meghan Markle isn't the admired figure she once was. She's become a cautionary tale. The Drew Barrymore interview wasn't just uncomfortable, it was symbolic, a moment that marked her slow fall from grace. What should have been a smooth and friendly return to the spotlight turned into a brutal reminder that no amount of charm can hide years of controversy, privilege, and scorched relationships. And when even Drew Barrymore, known for her warmth and empathy, keeps her distance, that says it all.
Someone new who left. So these numbers we've been reporting for years aren't accurate at all. The turnover is horrible.
Wow, I would love to know what the whole turnover rate is when you count the staff who aren't in senior positions.
When even one of the most empathetic hosts in the business can't salvage, the moment you know something shifted, it's clear now. Meghan's star power isn't just dimming, it's disappearing, and in trying so hard to prove she still belongs, she ended up confirming the very thing she was running from. The spotlight has moved on. If the Drew Barrymore incident showed us anything, it's that Hollywood is done being dazzled by Meghan Markle's royal performance. The magic is gone, and so is the patience.
And who is still traumatized by, I shouldn't laugh, but by the time with Meghan. What was her main issue? What did she do to dehumanize her?
Well, I mean, one of the things that she pointed out was that Meghan was incredibly ugly.
The public is losing patience with the staged comebacks, the out-of-touch branding, and the constant need for special treatment in a time where realness matters more than ever. Meghan's polished performance just doesn't connect anymore, and that leaves us with one big question: how many more doors have to quietly close before she realizes the version of herself she's trying to sell just isn't landing anymore? Now we want to hear from you. Is Meghan's Hollywood comeback already over? Has the industry finally seen through the shine? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
But as soon as Harry was around, and another point they made was the mask slipped after about 6 weeks, that Meghan was like a fairy, like so happy and just full of joy and sweetness. But after about 6 weeks, the mask...
Let's get into it, because if there's one thing that's crystal clear by now, it's that the public isn't buying the titles, the polished smiles, or the PR spin anymore. And if you're done with the sugar-coated headlines too, make sure to follow us for fearless opinions, unfiltered truths, and the deep dives you won't hear anywhere else. You've been watching UK Royal Vibes, where we cut through the noise and uncover what really happens behind the palace doors.